Hey Falcon fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Atlanta Falcons Today. I always get asked, Thomas, how do you get in on a mailbag video? You do it over the weekend. Well, I want to know how to do it. So all you got to do is subscribe and then go down below, use the hashtag Falcons, ask any question that you want on this video below me right now, and more than likely, can't guarantee, but 90% chance, I'm going to pull the video in for you guys to go ahead and have answered on the show later on this week. So go down below, subscribe first, you got to be a subscriber, and then use the hashtag Falcons to ask your question. All right, let's go and jump into the latest Atlanta Falcons news and rumors here on a Monday, as we always do. And now we are less than 2 weeks. We're like 8 days away from the Falcons reporting up to Flowery Branch and training camp. And despite the fact that the team seems complete and they're not going to make any more moves, that has not stopped a lot of people from writing articles and giving some more buzz about players that the Falcons could go ahead and trade for. So, FanSided has a brand new list, a potential 5, let's show it to you here in a second, 5 Atlanta Falcon free agents they could go ahead and sign literally right now. As of course, they have needs, they have holes, and they have a decent amount of cap space. They technically can roll that over to next year, but they have enough cap space to go ahead and make an impact move for an impact player, and FanSided has a pretty good list I want to share with you to go ahead and start the show. So here is your list, right? They have Justin Houston, the pass rusher from Indianapolis, personal favorite, love that. Adrian Peterson, growing on me from a running back standpoint. Wouldn't hate it, despite that he's old. Adrian Claiborne, Josh Norman is another one, and then Danny Amendola, who's an older wide receiver. Obviously, one of Brady's favorite targets was a Lion the past couple of seasons. Not sure I'm in on Amendola, but still, he was thrown out there. Very much out on Josh Norman, by the way, just to throw that out there. I'm in on Justin Houston, and I've been in on Justin Houston for a while. Now, how much is he going to cost? Because he was good last year. Look at these numbers. 8 total sacks, played in all 16 games. That's at least $6 million a year, probably closer to $8 million a year. But I'm fine with the Falcons going ahead and adding that in order for the Falcons to potentially get this pass rush to be decent. And even though there are people out there in Atlanta, I've talked to them a lot, who are very much on the lines of, don't go sign somebody, just roll the cap space over. I would like them to add a pass rusher who could arguably potentially give you 6 to 8 sacks in 2021. That would go a long way in the, I'd say, feeling good about this defense and the Falcons having a pretty darn good season. Despite that fact, though, I think we have to say this, I'm not sure they're going to sign somebody. I think Pease trusts his defense. I think Pease trusts his own internal scheme and being able to get the most out of this defense that he possibly could. Plus, there are a lot of players like a Marlon Davidson who you don't know what you're going to get. And if Davidson, a second-round draft pick last year, doesn't have all the offseason issues that he had with, I think he had COVID and then he had an injury and he missed a lot of training camp, I think if he's going to be healthy and good to go as he's reportedly supposed to be, maybe he's a spark you need on the defensive line in order to go ahead and squeeze the most you can out of this roster. And so even though I want Justin Houston, or even though I want to go out and sign another pass rusher, Melvin Ingram. He's visiting with I think the Steelers today or whatever, and so the odds of Ingram coming to Atlanta are a little bit slim. I want them to go ahead and sign one of these guys because, again, 6 extra sacks on the defensive line is 6 more than you would have had with the current roster. And the current roster, to me, is very dependent on Dante Fowler being 2019 Dante Fowler and not 2020 Dante Fowler. So we're going to keep an eye on it. We'll see. But I do think the list of 5 is an interesting list overall, minus, of course, Josh Norman, because Josh Norman, to me, is absolutely washed. I'd rather have Kendall Sheffield start on a cornerback opposite of Josh Norman. Okay, how confident are you in the Falcon defense to start this season, right? Like where are you at right now? We're a week from training camp. And so some people are very confident, and I think they're being overly confident. They're like a 9 or a 10 on the scale, and some are too underconfident. They're or they're not confident enough. They're like a 1 or a 2. I'm middle of the pack. I'm a little bit more confident than I should be. I'm a 6 right now. So give me your thoughts, though, on your confidence level on the Falcons defense. I'm at a 6 right now. I want to see what you guys think because I think they can sign somebody. If you're going to give me Justin Houston, I go from a 6 to a 7. If that makes a big enough difference, then great. If not, then oh well, because he's going to cost a lot of money. So we'll see. But give me your thoughts on your confidence level down below in the comment section right now. All right, we're going to keep going here. Quick shout out to our friends at NEWSBREAK. Yes, you can download the NEWSBREAK app right now to keep up to date with local news, weather, sports, politics, and more. It's easy to follow not only us, but also the news by downloading the NEWSBREAK app. It's way better than a newspaper right now. Chatsports.com/FalconsNB, NEWSBREAK, November Bravo there for all you pilots out there. And in terms of the link, it'll all be down below in the description box as well. Again, download the NEWSBREAK app, totally free, and then you can subscribe to any different news outlets you guys want, including us, by searching Atlanta Falcons Today by Chat Sports in the search bar. Chatsports.com/FalconsNB, download the app right now. I want to move on to this next story here as we continue on the latest Falcons news and rumors here on the video. Calvin Ridley, the expectations are high, obviously. We know Julio Jones, he's going to be the #1 wide receiver, but Pro Football Focus thinks that it can be like best wide receiver in the league high. Like they put out their rankings for projected wide receiver receiving yards, and Ridley was number 1 on a list of very good receivers. We'll show you that here in a second. Now, FanDuel gives them the third best or gives Ridley the third best yards to go ahead, or third best odds to lead the league in receiving, which of course, again, stems from the fact that he is the number 1 wide receiver, and they didn't really address the wide receiver spot this offseason, minus Frank Darby, who is not going to take over the number 1 wide receiver spot. Like, that'd be great if he did, but the odds of that happening are pretty darn slim. Here are the Pro Football Focus receiving yard projections for 2021. Pretty crazy. Ridley won 1,561 yards. That's projection. If that's the case, draft him immediately in fantasy football. Like, take him with the 2nd overall draft pick or the 10th overall pick in your snake draft. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to draft Ridley. These numbers, again, are projections, but still, if he gets anything close to that, then you're going to win your fantasy football league by a mile. More than Tyreek Hill at 1,436. More than Devontae Adams, who I think has a little bit, who's his quarterback going to be? Is it Aaron Rodgers or somebody else? Justin Jefferson, way too high in this list, but he was good last year, 1,364 in terms of yard projection. And finally, Stephon Diggs with 1,356. Diggs is going to have another big year, especially since that the Bills didn't do much in terms of adding other weapons, and so I like the fact that Diggs is going to be, again, a top target there. Up in Buffalo. Here's the deal. There's little doubt that Ridley will ball. The question is, and again, that's what Pro Football Focus is trying to talk about here for you guys, is how much will he ball? Like, is he going to be a 1,000-yard guy? Is he going to be a 1,200-yard guy? Is he going to be a 1,500-yard guy? Because that's what Pro Football Focus is projecting right now, which would mean that he's not being, I think, overshadowed by Kyle Pitts or undermined by Kyle Pitts. And even though Pitts is a tight end, I don't think they're going to go ahead and take away snaps from Calvin Ridley because he plays different positions. I do think that they're going to try to get the football to Kyle Pitts as often and early as possible because you spent the 4th overall draft pick on a tight end, which we talked about here on this channel being a little bit ambitious in terms of the fact that tight ends don't play well overall in terms of their rookie years. Hopefully Pitts is an exception to that rule, but I think Ridley is going to have plenty of one-on-one opportunities, especially if Pitts balls out, because if he's doing that, then you can't really double Calvin Ridley, or else Kyle Pitts is going to eat your lunch in one-on-one coverage against safeties or, slot cornerbacks, or heaven forbid, an outside linebacker if you are the opposite team. Ridley will ball. The question is going to be exactly how much. And I think he's going to get to 1,000 yards, but the question is, can he be more than 1,000 yards? And if he can, this offense is going to roll. Like I said before, this offense is going to be fine. I think they're going to be absolutely fine under Arthur Smith. I think they'll be a lot better than they were with Dirk Cutter. They might not be world beaters because the running game is a little bit lackluster and the offensive line still has big question marks, but I think overall, this is a passing attack, at least, for Atlanta that's going to be really, really good and led by, of course, Matt Ryan and Calvin Ridley. I think a final thought is that Falcon fans are going to forget Julio Jones pretty darn quickly, and that's a pretty bold statement to state because Julio Jones is the best receiver we've seen, obviously, since Calvin Johnson, Lord Megatron, with the Detroit Lions. Okay, I said he gets to 1,000 yards. Does he get more than that? Over, under 1,000 yards receiving for Calvin Ridley in 2021. What do you think? Type O down below for over if you're feeling confident, as Pro Football Focus was, or type U down below for under if you're not confident at all. If you think it's less than 1,000 would be surprising. He'd have to be injured, or Kyle Pitts balls out and has 1,500 yards receiving and they just throw the football to him, or Ridley sticks, which, again, the last one of that is very unlikely. So I'm going to go with over. What I want your guys' thoughts right now on your over-under. 1,000 yards for Calvin Ridley in 2021. Type O down below for over. I think it's going to be, 1,100 yards, 1,200 yards, 1,300 yards, or under. I think it's going to be way less. I want to see what you guys just think right now. I feel pretty darn good about Ridley, and I would take him early on. I'm telling you this again. Early on in your fantasy football drafts, especially if you're in PPR, because he is going to be an absolute monster. So give me your thoughts down below right now in the comment section. All right, final story here today on our Atlanta Falcons Today YouTube channel. This is an interesting story, a very Atlanta story, I should say. So Younghoe Koo, our Pro Bowl fantastic kicker, had his car stolen. His Jeep was stolen just the other day, less than 24 hours ago. He threw this up on his Twitter account. MFs stole my Jeep, SMH, or I guess on his Instagram. Can you just bring back my cleats, though? And he said, I won't even be mad, bro. Just bring back all my cleats back. And then he posted his license plate, black Jeep Grand Cherokee, and he tagged Atlanta Scoop, which is I live in Atlanta, which is a Instagram account that kind of gives the details on all the crime happening in the ATL, which has spiked a lot over the past couple of months. Different story, but still, if you know where Younghoe Koo's Jeep is, or you have stolen Younghoe Koo's Jeep, shame on you. You should go ahead and return it to him because that is his property, and stealing is obviously very, very bad. And he's a baller and needs those cleats back because his cleats had him be a Pro Bowl kicker last year. I mean, the guy was automatic from 50 plus. He had 8 from 50 plus. Needed a couple closer ones. Had a 54-yarder and made 37 of 39 field goals. We all know Younghoe Koo is a baller, so you can't take his cleats like that, man. Like, you can't be a true ATL guy, crime or not, and take away our kicker's cleats because you probably, regardless of being a criminal, are a Falcon fan. And if he needs his lucky cleats, he needs his darn lucky cleat. So hopefully he finds his Jeep back. I'm sure Metro Atlanta Police are looking everywhere for the black Jeep Grand Cherokee. I'm sure that maybe that'll be found here pretty darn soon. All right, ultimately for today here on Atlanta Falcons Today. Again, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel as we get closer to 3,000 subs and closer to the start of training camp. We got plenty more videos coming next couple of days. Wednesday, going to do some training camp battle preview video. It's going to be great here. Again, make sure you guys are subscribed on the channel below. Ultimately for today on Atlanta Falcons Today, I'm your host, Thomas Mott, signing off the rest of your day.